Well, hello everybody. Um, Funny thing happened on my way to make a video earlier this week, and I've not done it because I've lost my way on a little Segway. Corey, she calls it squirrel. She's doing a squirrel, I believe. Some people say they've gone down the rabbit hole. I tend to say Segway. And when I first said that a couple of years ago to a young person, it was when we were still out on the farm and we'd never seen the segways that you ride now. You know, the two-wheeled thing that you steer and you've got a balance on. So he didn't realise that a segway is actually, so you're going on a journey this way and you go off on a segway. Yeah, you go off course a little bit, you go off on tangents and whatever. So I had a little Segway, and I ended up just. I have some issues that make it very difficult for me to plan my life at times, and when that happens, I just start playing with scraps. I find that playing with scraps helps me when I'm in a lot of pain and when I've taken medication that makes me a little bit slower or a little bit dopier. I just play with scraps, and that's my therapy. So I thought, well, you know what? I will come on because I'm a little ways to getting the actual proper video that I've got planned done. And I thought, well, I'm having a play around, so I keep saying, oh, I must put on the camera and we can just have a little chat. So this is just a little chat and craft along. So grab your bits and pieces. I don't think I'm particularly chatty, so if you can see my little cord here, that's my earpiece. If I go quiet, I'll probably be listening to some music because it is an evening here. We've had our dinner, and it's quiet. It's kind of like quiet time. Graham's got things to do out in the workshop tonight, so I thought, well, I'll sit in here and do things. So anyway, moving right along, I've got another quote and another song for us going into the next week, and I don't know how we're going to go. That's Louis. Sorry about that. I'll get this in case Cody starts. He's just a miniature fox terrier. The other one's a border collie on the larger side of his breed, so his bark is quite loud. So anyway, our quote for the week, I don't know if you're going to pick this up if there's too much glare. It says, don't wait for things to get easier, simpler, better. Life will always be complicated. Learn to be happy right now, otherwise you will run out of time. And I left a knee off life, so I just popped that in. So it's true, there's always something that's going to be coming up. I guess it's a bit like what I did. I couldn't do what I wanted to do, but I found something else that was a little bit within what I could be doing at that time. And the song of the week, it's from Pentatonics. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they are an amazing group. I'll see if hopefully you can get a shot of that if you want to look it up. And they're doing The Sound of Silence, so it's Art Garfunkel, Simon and Garfunkel. It's their Sound of Silence, and I've always been a huge fan of gosh, I can't even think properly. Simon and Garfunkel, sorry. I don't think I'll be doing a lot of chatting, will I? So anyway, I'm not very big when with renditions that people do, but Pentatonics do that really very well. So that's it for our song. So just a little quick show and tell. I have been doing things even though it hasn't been what I meant to be doing. So I've had my scraps out. So these are all from scraps, and I'm not sure if I did these on screen or not. I've got a feeling that I might have already showed you those. But I make notebooks, and I have a lot of lined paper, a lot of white paper, offcuts, so they can be tiny little offcuts, and I make books out of them. So that one's probably about 1.75 inches by 1, 2, 3, little, about 3 3/4. So it's just a tiny little notebook, and you can see in there that there's just some little, and they can be for secret little journaling in a tuck spot. And then that's just a little bit of 12 by 12 scrapbooking that I've done. So I won't take you through all of them. These are just the tiny ones. So once again, that one's not quite 2.5 by 3, and they're just little, and whether or not they open from the top or open from the side depends on which way the lines are running, obviously. So these are all just little books. And this is a picture out of a book, so you could put a pocket in there if you wanted to cover that little bit up. As I'm saying this, I feel like I've already showed you, but it might be in the video that I had to stop because I don't know, the phone rang, the dogs barked, Graham come home, it was all happening. So then I've just made them into all sorts of different books, and what I've done is I've got all these together and then paper clipped them, and then I've done the chain piecing. So I've run that one through the sewing machine, I've stopped, done a couple of stitches slowly and pulled the cotton a little bit, and then you do the next one and you keep doing it that way. And I do that because you'll be surprised at just over a project like this, and I think there's about 50 little notebooks I've got here, and they're all ready to go. And some of these are for the video that I'm working on now, the scraps from it. So I've actually got the scraps organised before I've got the project finished, which really isn't that surprising in my life, in my room. So I'll just show you this one because it's a little bit different. This is from an atlas that was falling apart. So I've been trying to use up the bits and pieces of the maps and different things, so that will tuck into a traveller's notebook or a journal somehow. So that's just a little bit of my show and tell. Oh, creak, creak, creak goes the chair. And I have got some other stuff, but that'll do. Now, I'm in a Facebook group called Paper Inspirations. And hang on a minute, I think I've got that wrong. Sorry, Sue. Be Inspired. Be Inspired Paper Inspirations. That's what it is. I knew I'd got it wrong. Sue is the owner of Paper Inspirations. I'm just trying to bring it up now. Okay, you won't let me do it that way. I don't even know why I'm doubting myself, but this is what happens. Medication and tiredness and pain. Yeah. Be Inspired Paper Inspirations. And it's linked to Sue's group, which is YouTube, which is Paper Inspirations, and her shop. So we've got a swap going on for February. It's closed now, but if you would like to be involved in a swap that's not too hard and doesn't have expensive things to be posted, we try and keep what we do down, so keep it underneath the cost of postage a little bit. And we're doing altered playing cards. So these are the oversized ones. So all I've done on the front of it is I've put some Tim Holtz paper on there, and I've just done a little simple cluster, and then on the back I've sanded it back and put some gesso down, and I've stamped, and then I've done a little basic collage and sticking a focal point on it. So that's those two. I'm very slow, so that's those two there. Now what I'm going to do with one of them, because we have to make 4, I've only got to do 4, so that's not many. Now this one's a little bit different. I've just collaged tiny bits of paper on there, and I've just rubbed some gesso in there to try and get rid of the starkness of all the bits, all the layers, and try to help it blend a little bit. but I'll use this one as an example. I've got the jumbo playing card. This is the normal sized playing card, and this is a miniature. This is a tiny one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an eyelet up there, and I'm going to thread a little bit of chain through so that there will be the four. So that's probably going to be the front. So they will go like that, and they will all be, I'll do it, like I said, I'll do a eyelet in there, and away we'll go. So 5 minutes into me creating, there's a mess. It's just going to happen. Now this is also, I've always only ever done my flowers in black and as a silhouette. And I was watching Sue one day, and she they're die cuts, so die cut them, and with watercolor paper, and then just put watercolor on them and color them with watercolor. And then Corey Denham at her channel, the same name. I was hoping that wasn't going to stick onto the baking paper, but it has. So what Corey does is she, I believe, embosses with a clear embossing powder, and it gives it a shine, and it just seems to look that little bit better. So what I've done is I've got some glossy accents here that I've barely ever used. I thought, well, the powder will last longer than what the liquid would. So I put some glossy accents. So I did that with the other one too, on it. But I've stuck it to the paper. I didn't think it would. Yeah, that's baking paper. I didn't think. I'll try doing it on plastic next, and try and get it so I don't tear it when I'm trying to get it off the paper, but that should stick back together okay. Once upon a time I would have just shot it in the bin, but I am getting better at not throwing things out because they're not exactly the way I thought they needed to be. So that's that one, and I've got the little collage pretty much ready. I think I've told everybody about my piece of paper. I have a piece of paper under me, and it's quite textured because I put the glue there too. You can see the shiny glue, and eventually that gets built up until that paper is completely covered with whatever I happen to be doing. If I've got gesso on my finger, I'll wipe it off, or like the gold or whatever. It's just like a drop sheet is all it is. And I use the paper because if it doesn't look any good, I really haven't lost anything. But usually by the time I'm finished, it looks pretty good. Now these are labels. I'm sorry, I don't know where from, but I obviously didn't have them sized properly because there's only half one there, although bigger than I thought. I just think it was my sizing. So rather than throw them out, which once again would be what you'd expect from me, I'm going to put that down there, and then I've got a piece of tea-dyed coffee paper that I've stamped, and then this is some Russian script out of a book that my friend gave me some pages out of it, and I thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to use that. That's so beautiful. But in keeping with what this year's all about, it's about using them up. I think I showed you those, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. So I'm just trying to figure out now how I'm going to do this one, and this is where I get really slow and quite painful. So craft along with me, that way you won't you'll be doing something rather than see me move a piece of paper 3 or 4 times with no foreseeable goal or result, So I was thinking that that would look quite nice, and that's probably all it needs. So I think I'm quite happy with that. And I've just put little brads at either end of the book text. And if I put that there, and the thing is they're altered playing cards, but because I've covered the entire side on the other side, I kind of like having the card showing through, because otherwise you don't know that it's an altered card. It could just be a bit of cardstock. But yeah, that's what it was. His eye was freaking me out. If I put it there, I can cover both his eyes. Alright, let's do it. So how's everybody been going? School's back, I think, everywhere now for all the kidlets. Although I think I did see a post about somewhere in Victoria going back to remote learning. Then I haven't heard any news, so I guess I'm out of the loop. I hope everybody's doing well. So where did I say I wanted that? Oh, I just put my hand in the glue, as you do. So if I put that there, and the other thing that I could have done with it too is I could have put this edge over there, but for some reason I decided it was going to be there. I think because I couldn't get that where I wanted it, I decided to do it this way. I don't think it really matters, does it? Just as long as it's not cut out in the middle, looking silly with nowhere to go. We'll go this way. We want to cover up their eyes because that's a bit freaky. I'll put that there, that way I'll put something else in it other than my arm. So we've got that down. I'm just wondering. That one or this one. just use a dry wet one to push glue in. There we go. I just swapped glue because this has got a finer nozzle on it, and it's easier to get the glue down without having it, everything's swimming in it and everything's sticking to itself, and etc. and etc. And then we'll just pop that one on top of it. Now I've just kept it pretty simple on the front, and just a little cluster. Just didn't get too excited about it, too carried away, because there's enough going on the other side. So I'll grab a label. And sometimes what I do with these labels is I cut the middle out of them. I did in that one. So you can see where I've just cut the middle out of it. And then I didn't on that one. I think I was too busy trying to get that cotton in place. You put the butterfly wing in underneath it. But I didn't do it with that one, but that's okay. So, am I going to have it this way or that way? Oh, I was going to put that under there, I forgot it. it's just sort of like, there's really not a lot to say about what I'm doing. It's just kind of like craft along. You never know. I might give you an idea to do something while you're doing it. It might help you. It's a little bit of company. I will try and chat a bit, but I'm not really 100% sure that I've got a lot to say. It was my Graham's birthday yesterday, so we had a lovely birthday party. Abby and two children, Isaac and Izzy, came over to celebrate Graham's birthday with us. Our daughter Amy and Amelia rang to wish Grandpa a happy birthday. She was just going into school, and I baked the cake during the day because Isabel's 3 and Isaac's 2. So I baked the cake and then I left the decorating until they got here. So we what did we do? We decorated the cake. So we whipped the cream. Isaac doesn't like any loud noise at all, so he took off with Graham with his hands over his ears. Izzy held on to the beaters while we beat the cream, and then we put a layer of jam in the middle and some cream, and then we put it on top of it and put cream on it, and I got a flake candy bar, chocolate bar. Yeah, that's better. You see, just that little bit of stamping, just not much, but it just breaks it up a little bit. And there's gold underneath there. It's like a mesh fabric, and then I've just put the gold there. So that's that one done. So we'll go back to the front again. Just wasn't happy with the front. The back, I just felt that it was missing something. Yeah, so anyway, the kids spread the cream on. And I got strawberries out, and they put the strawberries on and sprinkled the chocolate over. And so Isaac's walking around, and it's time for dinner, Isaac. Cake. It's like every few minutes, every 5 minutes or so, it's like cake. Oh, funny. I was taking some pictures of them, and Abby and the two kids and Graham are sitting in front of this masterpiece, this cake. I've taken a couple of pictures, and Isaac goes, "No more, no more now." Oh, you funny little fella. He's just at that age where he's coming through the 2-year-old terrible twos. And he did take that to heart. He did read the standing operating procedures about how to be a 2-year-old, how to throw a tantrum. He even learned how to get himself down on the floor before he started flinging himself around. A couple of times he flung himself down on the tile floor and cracked his head. Poor little thing. So he figured out that he'd just gingerly put himself down on the floor, then start rolling around and kicking and screaming. Pretty intense. We kind of just didn't give it too much air. And he'd be up and off he'd go. He'd be over it, and then off he'd go again over some other slight that happened that he wasn't happy about, but he's just coming out the other side of that now. And he's a funny little boy. He's walking around all night, walking up to Graham, putting his hands up, going, "Cuddle, cuddle." He's does think Graham's just the bee's knees. The rest of us are staff, I think. Yeah, he's loving Graham's company. And Graham was sitting there, he had a cup of coffee, and sitting in the lounge chair, and Isaac come up on his knee, and there wasn't that much coffee left in the cup, and it was, it wasn't boiling hot. And he's asking Graham for a drink. Graham's thinking giving a kid coffee at this time of night, he'll be pinging off the walls all night. And he has this drink, little sip, and the antics of it. It's like, oh, he's a funny little thing. Yeah, he's a funny little man. So anyway, we had a lovely birthday. Graham and I this year, and usually I don't stick to it because I feel really bad for somebody not getting a present for their birthday, but we honestly, seriously just have got everything we need. We are so blessed, and we've just don't need anything. So what we've done is we've put the gift money, and it'll go into the holiday plan. And I asked Graham what he would like for his birthday, and his response was, bake me a cake. And I said to him, well, what do you want for your birthday dinner? Oh, well, I don't know. So I sent him off to the supermarket to get a few things, and on the list I put on what you want for your birthday dinner. So he come back with this big rolled pork. So I cooked a roast dinner with yummy crackling and all the twin applesauce and gravy and lots of veggies, and we shared it with Abby and the five of us around the table. And then we had our cake. So it was just what he wanted. So I do believe he had a lovely birthday yesterday. So we did that. I don't know. I went to the hairdresser today. Hairdresser's just a couple of blocks down the road. It's one of those little strip, shops. And I just get my fringe trimmed and get it washed and blow dried. I think it's more of a social thing because I know I don't go out enough. I know I don't mix enough with people. So if I can do that, I get on my little little old lady buggy thingy, and off I go. Like I said, it's just down around the corner, so it's not like it's a long way. It just means I'm getting out of the house without Graham. I'd be lying if I didn't if I said it wasn't a problem, me going out. I've never been one to be in and out of the house though. For me, having to go to the supermarket or just go and do some stuff, I don't know, at the shopping centre, it's like, well, that's the day ruined sort of thing. It's like, never been very good at going out and doing what had to be done and then coming home and being productive. I can do it, but I'm not very good at it. So I've never really been one to pop in and out. And of course, because of what I do, like when I cook, when I bake, you don't need to have a look in the tins or the oven to see what I've been doing. It's all over my shirt. I get into such a mess, and then I'm in here with paint and glues and gesso and all sorts of things that I just destroy my clothes. I do actually own aprons because I make them, and I've got to get them up on the website and get this website active. It's only just waiting for me to load some stock onto it. Isn't that terrible? So I figured, you know what, maybe you could, because we went out after Christmas and bought me some clothes because everything was falling apart. I had holes in it. I do have some fabric here to make some clothes for myself, but I've been pretty dysfunctional. So by the time I get to the sewing machine, it's all about making clothes for a young lady, which I do prefer anyway. So I will have to get to that. But then I bring them home and I think, well, because I'm one of these people that go out and clothes that she's got on, I come home and I change them, put my old clothes on. I don't wear anything that I'd wear out around the house. Until it occurred to me, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, that you're not going to wear the clothes because you're not going out of the house, but you don't go out of the house. So See the problem there? So I've done one day. I did one day really good. I put some clothes on and new clothes on and put my apron on whenever I was in the kitchen or in here, because stuff just jumps up on me. There's nothing a 2-year-old can do to their clothes that I haven't already done. I'm a bit of a mess. Not 100% sold on that. It doesn't quite make it. Okay. Leave it alone and move on to the next one. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so that's 3. Now I've got a couple of collaged ones, but I've still got normally as routine go up to the theatre precinct up on in South Brisbane at South Bank, and we go to the theatres there and see concerts and all sorts of different things and enjoy it immensely. But there just didn't seem to be anything on for us to watch for a couple of weeks. So we had a long time off, just 3 weeks, without going up or going anywhere really, unless you count the local RSL club. But you get a nice meal there actually. So we're going on Saturday night. We're going to see the first of QSO's Queensland Symphony Orchestra, the first concert on their season's ticket. So we're looking quite forward to that. So we'll be seeing that concert. I think it's the first one. I was just stopped and thinking, I think it might be the first one this year for QSO. We'll go and watch anything. We don't listen to rap, and we don't like country and western. Some country rock, some's okay. Like, I mean, George Harrison is probably deemed country, well, western. When I think of the western bit, it's all about horses and dogs and trucks and coming over the hill and all those sorts of things. You just don't like it at all. Or rap. We really don't have any time for rap. For me, when I listen to a rap song, I feel like I've been personally attacked. It's a filthy language in their songs, which, okay, that's the best grasp you have on the English language. Well, then it's up to you to deal with it, I guess, or not. And they seem so angry. I feel like I'm being ticked off. It's like, I know not all of it is like that, but enough of it is like that we just steer clear of it. But apart from those two, we'll have a crack at anything. no idea what I'm doing here. None at all. Just going wherever it takes me. Except I would like it to be straight-ish. Oh dear. Thought it looked different. Oh, Vic. What are we going to do with you? my goodness, it's been on for an hour, and what have I done? Oh God. Oh. Oh my goodness. That's not good. I can't find my what do you call it? Stabilo pencil. So I've just got a charcoal, a pastel. Just doing a little bit of ground underneath their feet so that they're anchored. Oh, we do accumulate bits and pieces around us when we create, don't we? So like, oh no, it's out of control. Oh, I must get some gauze muslin coffee dye. Haven't got any, and it's a bit light. It doesn't show up. It doesn't seem to show up it doesn't seem to show up very well. It took a bit of getting out, didn't it? I think I've probably had enough. I think that's right. I am pretty tired and getting more tired, too tired to think, but you can see where I'm going with it all. What I might do just quickly, just to mix it up a little bit, so that's 4. It was mentioned today to do 4 for the swap and do 4 for my reference journal. So these are rub-on, and they're from 49 in Market, and I got these from Sue's shop, Paper Inspirations, and they are really nice. They are good, and I have learnt the hard way that if you buy them, use them, because they deteriorate after a while. I actually prefer to rub them off and have a complete sheet at the end for some reason, but I'm finding that if you don't be careful, you start rubbing off the rub-on that's next to it, so Just looking for a bit of tracing paper, girls. Okay, I couldn't find tracing paper, but I did find some vellum. So now what I want to do, see, this is how my videos will blow out just about every time, because I think I'm doing one thing and I end up going off in my tangent, my squirrel, a rabbit hole. Just, I go whichever way. It's also how I get into such a big mess. Darkroom door stamps are absolutely brilliant, and I've talked about Sue and Chris. They both stock, like this one's come from Sue, but they both have some dark door, I think. Well, I know Sue does, but I'm pretty sure I've got some of these from Chris off her Facebook shop. Gosh, this hurts my hands. I don't know why this, out of everything, if I had one criticism, well, I have only one criticism for these stamps, and that is that they don't come cut out. Hey, I've got the camera going.
You do?
Yeah. Just having some quiet time craft along. Graham just came into the room, everybody. Not really a happy chappy. Well, I'm a happy chappy. I'm just not a chatty chappy.
Chatty chitty.
Yeah.
I've got 100 of those bobbins done.
Okay, you need more, do you?
What's you want?
5.
500?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have enough sheets.
Okay.
I'll have to get some tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll get
Oh,
26
Pippa, no, don't, mate. Please.
I'll get
Pippa's coming.
26 bobbins out of the sheets.
Okay. Pippa, please don't. Pippa's trying to sneak in, girls. She's looking for a cuddle. Will you give her a cuddle up your way?
Yeah, I'll take her the shower.
Thank you. Oh, you give her a drink. Okay. I won't finish this on. I'll wrap it up in a minute. I'll just show you what my idea is. Okay. Right, so you can see my way of thinking. If I cut this out, Come out where you are. This is. Does everybody else do this? I'm sure I did. This piece missing. You're yelling at me at this stage. It's under there. It's over there. I think you will get the gist of what I'm doing, and this is the one that I will probably put the two little ones. I'll put the three of them together as a cluster, and then the other three as individual, and then good to go in the post tomorrow in time. Hang on a minute, what's over here? I think it might be time to go to bed. I have no idea what's happened to that. It's annoying because I was trying to finish up quickly for you. Alright. Next time I come on, I'll show you basically what I'm doing. It's a bit of vellum, so it's see-through, and it's a darker endorsed stamp, so that is going to sit there. So that's a rub-on, 49 and Margaret rub-on goes there. I'm positive I cut it. I did. Okay. Okay, that's been terribly painful. The stems come off, but I'm going to go all the way through it. Oh, what did they do? Okay, I'm just trying to piecemeal a bit of the stem together. So what I wanted to do is just get it to go down in there, and then I thought I could put this one in as well. Okay, everybody. Thanks for coming along and crafting with me. It hasn't been a very exciting video, and I haven't had a lot to say. But yeah, I've enjoyed doing this and thinking that maybe there's some people out there that are listening and interested in what I do. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Next time I come on, I'll have a project. Yeah, I think that's going to look really good. That vase with some greenery coming out the top, and I like these little circles. They're really cute. You see on the rub-ons. I like them. Just fills in a little bit of space. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. So I haven't done that side. What have we got done? Well, this was done before we started, and just a little cluster. Then this one, and that's the back of it. That's the back of that one, and that's just a little very basic cluster on that side, and that pretty much brings us to a close for tonight. I'll crack on probably tomorrow and get this one done, and then I'm not sure what I'll try and get another video done in between my sewing, and hopefully I'll see you again. So from me to you, I'm just trying to find the mouse. Might be going anywhere, girls. You might have to. Oh, here it is. All is not lost. Alright then, take care. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to the person standing next to you. You might be the only one during that person's day that speaks to them. So it can make a huge difference in somebody's life just to say hello or be respectful. Take care, everybody. Keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.